Got me some gum. I forgot who that person was that was talking about stop going on that gum. I got me some gum. Um, so to go over um holding on to grudges or bitterness or strife or hurt, pain from other people. So we know that we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and high places and things like that. Rulers of darkness, right? And people can be compromised and used out of their hurting, out of their pain, out of their envy, out of their jealousy, out of their unforgiveness for somebody or themselves. Um, a lot of times it don't be about us. A lot of times it don't be about us. Sometimes people, especially when they're a giver at heart, um, giver of the word, giver of financial assistance, or just always there to help somebody. A lot of times, a lot is not poured into them. Hey, hey. A lot of times it's not poured into them, so they have to withdraw. I know for me, speaking for me, I have to withdraw myself and let the Lord replenish me um, from being a giver because I want to um, remember you. No, because you want to walk in the footsteps of Christ, right? And so the Lord spoke to me the other day, and lo and behold, He gave me Jonah. Jonah in the belly of the whale, right? And so I read, and here's that word, and he told Jonah, it starts off by, okay, Lena, I figured that was you. And so it starts off, the story starts off by saying, hey, Jonah was the son of this person, and the Lord spoke to him and told him to go to Nineveh. And then after that, Jonah was like, no, he gonna go to Tarka somewhere else. And so he thought he was gonna run from God and what God wanted him to do. And so he got on the boat and started causing other people trouble because he running from God. And they like, what is this? They started casting lots and all of this stuff, trying to figure it out who it was. And like I just said, it may not just be for you, it may be for other folks too. It may not just be you. We have to be in a position to where we be obedient to God, to where He want to use us, bless us to bless other people. And so He didn't cause all these people issues and stuff where they throwing over their stuff, they throwing over their cargo and stuff like that, trying to figure out what's going on with this storm. And so he like, it's me. He down there in the bottom of the ship, sleep and trying to chill and stuff. And they didn't cast lots and figured out it was him. And so he like, it's me. Just cast me over. Just throw me over, y'all. And they like, wrestling with themselves because he was like, what God you believe? He like, I believe in the God, of the earth and the heavens, the Lord of Lords, right? And so they like, what you got to do to have this, what's the name, cleared up so we can, get up out of this storm. And so he like, just throw me over. And they like, because a lot of times if you messing with people, and we gonna get there, I don't want to jump ahead of myself. But a lot of times, people that can be bringing you strife, bringing you issues, bringing you pettiness, bringing you hurt and heartache and just trouble, you don't know what the Lord got for them. You don't know what the Lord is trying to do for them, to them, and for you. So they threw him over, right? And then they knew of the Lord. Now they know of their Lord, not just their Lord, you know. Now they know of the true and living God. And so after that, the Lord caused the whale, a big fish, to come and swallow him, and he was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. Furthermore, the fish was carrying him to where he was supposed to go in the first place. And so he gets there 40 days. He's there, teaching them or telling them, he's prophesying to them, if y'all don't turn from y'all ways, the Lord is going to come and he's going to disrupt y'all lives, and he's going to take y'all up out of here, more or less. He gonna destroy y'all stuff going on. And so the people, they took heed to his warning. They took heed to his prophecy, and they, lent their clothes, and they started fasting, and they started praying. Even the king, down to the king, he fasted, and rent his clothes, and he said not even the animals, the birds need to be eaten and stuff. So even down to the king. And so Jonah got mad. Jonah got mad and walked off, because it was supposed to be in 40 days that it was probably, he had been, prophesying to them for a while, but it was going to be in 40 days that the Lord was going to destroy their city and stuff. And so he walks off, he gets mad, he walks off, and he goes and find himself, he built himself a little shelter, you know, and then because he's mad, but he built himself a what's the name, and then the Lord came through out of nowhere, out of this deserty place, gives him a tree and gave him some more shade. And then so the Lord come to him and like, what's going on with you? Why you upset? But the Lord takes away that tree, right? The Lord takes away his little shade tree. And so he didn't build himself necessarily a little what's the name, but he just went and I guess built himself a little what's the name so he can sit and lodge. But the Lord brought him a tree with shade, and he was thankful for the shade, right? And so he over there just mad and stuff, and the Lord like, what's going on with you? Why you mad? He was like, because I know you, he said, I know you, you just gracious and merciful, and you gonna save these people just because they repented, right? Now he was mad and didn't want to do it to Nineveh. He said, that's the reason why I ran in the first place. I didn't want to do it in the first place because Nineveh, they don't obey you. You know, they did all of these things to the Israelites. They, basically the enemy. They did all of these things to my people. But you're forgiving God and stuff, all the way down to him wanting to be killed. Like, really? All the way down to him wanting to be murdered, taken up out of there. He was so mad and holding a grudge so bad to where it vexed him that much to where he wanted to die, because the Lord came the 41 day and the Lord didn't destroy the city because they repented. They fasted, right? And this goes the same thing for us, because he had put it in my spirit. I was thinking about it. Why do we want to hold on to grudges? Why do we got it? Even though, somebody may have done you wrong, completely wrong, and been petty with you, or, don't treat you like how you feel like they ought to, and knowing that you be being good to them and stuff. We just gotta hold on to grudges for some type of reason. And although we say we forgive somebody, a lot of times it plays in our head, it plays in our mind what happened, what they did to her, the offense. It plays on and on in our head, just like Jonah. It played on and on in his head. But you never know what the Lord is trying to do. The Lord, he don't want any of us to suffer. He don't want any of us to go to hell. He don't want any of us to be destroyed. It was kids in that city, animals and livestock and babies and people in that city that may have been ignorant. And he was saying that you gonna charge them because they're ignorant. It's 144,000, it's 100 and some odd thousand people off in that city. And so you want them to die because they were this way, because they were that way. And just think about when he was disobedient. It's been people that's been disobedient to God, and they didn't get no second chances. They didn't get a chance to get to the belly of the whale. Right? The Lord smote them right then and there for their disobedience. Just like he wanted to do with Moses. Right? The Lord he could have took him out right then and there for his disobedience. But he had grace and he had mercy on Jonah. And then he yet again went to talking crazy to God, talking about, yeah, I'm mad and I should die. Because you saving them and they did all of this to my people and all of this stuff too. What about what has God saved you from? What has God had mercy on you from? He still blessed you, even though you were nasty. We ain't none of us perfect. We all got stuff we can be working on. We all got stuff that we can work on. Ain't nobody perfect. So what about the things that you have done, the past sins or the mistakes and the evil, wicked stuff that you've done, lying, stealing? It don't matter. He said a little leaven leavens the whole lump. It don't have to be major. You don't have to be out here just a serial killer and stuff like that. And those people, if they went to God and said, God, I'm a sinner, the most gruesomest thing that you can think of that a person can do, messing with children, just murdering innocent people, somebody's grandma, stealing from somebody's grandma, all they got is they pension. The most gruesome thing that you can think of that somebody can do, if they go to God and say, God, forgive me, I'm a sinner. I did this, I did that. The Lord will forgive them. He don't want none of us to perish. We are all his creation. We are all his children. So why hold on to that grudge and miss out on your blessing? So the story, Jonah, it never says go on to what happened with the story of Jonah. Because he went on to tell him, you was grateful for that tree that I planted, for that shade. You was grateful for that. Even though you disobeyed me. Even though you a sinner. You done been a sinner. So he could be getting, a lesson to the people that's around you. But we have to be obedient enough. And it's our heart posture too. The main thing is your heart posture. Joseph, he went through all of those things, right, at the hands of his own brothers. But he was forgiving. He was still loving. He still had a heart of compassion. Moses, even though the children that came out of Egypt, they were disobedient, still idolatry, he still had a heart for the people. He didn't want any of them to perish. Lot, even though or Abraham, even though, he knew the people were disobedient. He knew the people were nasty and just trifling. He still had a heart for the people because his nephew Lot was there. It's your heart posture. David, even though they like, oh, he a little shepherd boy, he ain't, yeah, no, he a little shepherd boy. But he was doing it for the people. Even though Saul wanted to kill him, he still didn't do it. You know, he could have killed him, took him off of the earth, um, and been king, but it was his heart. To have a heart of forgiveness, to be able to love that person as if they never offended you, to be able to love them like you love yourself.
Mama,
You hungry?
a bowl. A bowl. Can I have a bowl?
No.
What? Why can't I have a bowl?
That's too, you don't need to eat so much bread. It'll stop you up.
What can we eat?
Okay. You want the apple?
Apple.
And we got leftovers you can heat up.
But the apple are bad.
Mm. So holding grudges, don't hold grudges to where you miss the opportunity for the Lord to use you to help one of your brothers and sisters get back to him and for him to bless you even further. Because he who is, you know, graceful or useful with little, they'll be graceful and useful with much. A lot of times people we wanna have this big name and we wanna have so much honor and shown so much accolade and we want so much applause, but for what? For what? Do you do people how you want to be treated? Or is it all about you and your circle and what you got going on? Are you doing stuff just so you can get applause, or is that your heart posture? And you look at people as your brothers and sisters. And something else he just put on my heart too. Some people can be the nicest people in the world, right, to you. But he said once that one of the disciples was like, "Hey, your mother and your brothers is looking for you." He's like, "Who my mothers and my brothers? Who them?" He said, "Look around you. These people, the disciples is following. Those that do the will of the Lord are my brothers and sisters and mother." You're gonna get some people that surround you that's gonna be nice, 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 nice. They don't make it your brother and sister. And just because you forgive somebody wholeheartedly, you'll feed them, or you don't want them to perish. Forgiving them means you don't want them to perish. You don't want them to hurt. No matter how bad, that's true forgiveness. No matter how bad or petty or messed up they done been to you, you don't want them to perish. You don't want them to hurt. But the thing is you don't have to walk with them. You don't have to abide with them. If especially they're not repentive. They're not walking according to the word of the Lord. They're not asking for, forgiveness or continually to do right. But all glory be to God. But that's what he put on my heart the other day. And we just been chilling, relaxing, and enjoying his presence, enjoying his love, enjoying the life that he has bestowed on me, and getting these lessons and blessings, and being grateful to be taught. Him giving me wisdom and understanding, and being just grateful and gracious for where you are, who you are, what you have, especially mainly having the Lord Jesus Christ to be able to go to. And I promise you, you seek and you'll find him. Knocking, the door will be opening to you. He's the best friend that you could ever have. He's the best lover that you can ever have. He is truthful. He is faithful. Like, Even in our disobedience, even in our nastiness, like even in our meanness and anger and pettiness, he's still gonna be there. So seek him, and then he'll be there. He'll always be there. But that's it. That's all, y'all. I hope y'all having a good Sunday, a blessed Sunday. I hope the Lord is revealing Himself to y'all. If not, y'all need to ask Him to, and then kind of go to a quiet place, and He will open up that Word, and He will. I promise you, He will. um, Continue to pray for me. I'll continue to pray for y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Sunday. All glory be to God. I love y'all.